So I'm visiting with Cooper Smith. Cooper, you are a student where?
I am homeschooled and I'm in Helotes 4-H LSP.
So you're also a member of Helotes LSP.
Yes.
Are you an officer in the program?
I am. I am the Community Service Officer, 4th Vice President.
Okay, so what does a community service officer do?
My job is to work with the other community service officers and organize out and plan different community service activities throughout Helotes.
Wonderful. Cooper, how long have you been a member of Helotes 4-H?
This is going to be my 6th year.
6 years, so you're an old hand at this. What
Yes.
made you decide to become a member of 4-H?
So I joined because my mom grew up raising rabbits, and whenever I turned 8 years old and was in 3rd grade, she had me start with raising rabbits.
So now do you raise them from like a little bunny rabbit all the way up? Or?
So I do breed year-round.
Okay.
We also have a breeder that we buy from because with rabbits, you never know how many they're going to have. We've had years where they have 1. We've had years where we have 20.
Now, Cooper, I've always heard when they talk about like multiply like rabbits, you have this thought process that, man, they just, 1 rabbit, next minute you have 10 rabbits, then you have 30 rabbits, and then you have 100 rabbits. Is that not the way it is?
So we keep the bucks and the does separate for that reason, because the gestation period is only 30 days. That's why the saying is multiply like rabbits.
So you mean a rabbit could have a baby every month, basically?
Yes, exactly.
Wow. So I guess you could have 100 rabbits at the end of the year, couldn't you?
You could.
And you don't want that. Nope. So you breed your own.
Yes.
Talk to me about the selection process. How do you decide what's going to be a breeder or not?
What we do is, normally a lot of our breeding stock has come from extra rabbits from our meat pens that either just don't match the body styles or that bust the 5-pound max weight. And so we then, once we decide that they're going to be kept, when they become breeding age, we'll feel them and then we'll find a buck and a doe that complement each other and hope that in the buck's weak spot, if it's the shoulders and the doe is strong in shoulders, then the outcome will be a rabbit with stronger shoulders.
So how big do these rabbits get?
So for meat pen rabbits, they can get up to about 5-6
We
pounds.
need some help in the arena with moving shavings. If you're able to help us, come in here and help us in the arena, please.
But our breeders, we have one that is close to 13 pounds.
13-pound rabbit. That's a pretty heavy rabbit.
It is.
It must be a big rabbit, too.
Yes.
So, how do you show a rabbit? Do you halter break it?
No.
You put it on a leash?
No. All it is you're going to select 3 that are similar for a meat pen, and you will enter them in a set of 3, and then the judge will feel them for uniformity in the meat quality and the like bone structure uniformity.
So what do you do with your extra rabbits?
Extra ones, we can either put on the trailer to go to the butcher, or my dad's a firefighter and he takes them up to the station because the firefighters like them.
So what's your favorite rabbit dish?
I personally won't eat rabbit just because I'm not going to eat the rabbits just because I see them from when they're so young.
I mean, you're right, because you actually raise it from a baby up to its entry stage.
Yes.
And then from what I'm hearing, you may even raise some of your own breeders, so that rabbit could be with you for a rather long time.
We have one that's going on 4 or 5 years old. So normally a rabbit can live for about 8 to 10 years, but their breeding kind of quality stops at around 5. So then we try to find people who want them as pets, and that way they can continue to live their life as a pet.
So Cooper, what would you tell someone if they're thinking about being in the rabbit business?
Rabbits are relatively easy and they're a good project to begin with just because it teaches you responsibility before you go on to bigger animals. And it's a good project if you live in the city because before we moved, we would raise rabbits in our backyard. And so you're able to then have them right outside your back door and not having to drive somewhere.
Wonderful. Well, Cooper, how did you do this year in the show?
I placed 12, and I have, our bloodline has won 3 times in the past 6 years and gotten reserve once. We say that every other year we win, and so this year is our learning year. We're trying different things, and it just didn't work out.
And are you going to be showing rabbits at San Antonio?
San Antonio does actually not have a rabbit show.
Oh, they don't? Okay.
We do have some that are going to Houston, and then there's another rabbit show called Southern Classic in Belton that we will be breeding for and taking. It has a breeder show, a fryer show, a meat pen show.
So what's the difference between meat pen and fryer?
A fryer is pretty much a meat pen rabbit. It's just an individual entry, so it's only one rabbit. So we will choose our meat pens, and then we will put the extra rabbits into that show.
Wonderful. Well, Cooper, I wish you the best of luck. Congratulations on what you have done so far. Hope Houston and the Classic will knock it out of the park. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We're back with the Bexar County Junior Livestock Show, day number 5. Been spread out a little bit because of COVID, but we're back at it, and it is the commercial market swine today. And Class 1 of the heavyweights are out on the sand. I guess I should say sawdust in this case. But right now they're out there, and the judge has already pinned a couple. And we're waiting for him to make through the rest of his selections. And welcome back, everyone. We're glad to be here. I know everyone in the barn is glad that this happened this year. It's been a different year, been a little strange, but we're here, stock show time, and we're having some fun. Thank you all for joining us this morning.
Our judge today is Chuck Real. He attended Texas A&M University where he got his bachelor's degree and a master's degree. He's the owner of Real Hog Farms. He has been a county extension agent. He's been raising hogs for over almost 60 years now. He's a Farmer County agent and manager of the Texas A&M Swine Center. He has been a judge for swine shows all over the United States, and we're very fortunate today to have Chuck Real here with us to judge our swine show here at the Gerlach Show this year. So let's give it up for Chuck Real. Second class of heavyweight commercials, start making your way to the holding area. Second class heavyweight commercials, start making your way to the holding area. Also, folks, our live streaming is taking place. We appreciate Northside School District in helping us out with that. If you have loved ones that would like to watch your kids' show, have them go to WGLS.org, and there's a link to the live stream there that they can watch online. Also, if you have someone interested in doing add-ons or as a buyer, on our website, there's instructions on how to do that. So people can sign up online and do add-ons for your children, or also do that, sign up as a buyer through WGLS.org. This afternoon, we'll be doing our closing ceremonies. We do ask that you watch those closing ceremonies because we'll be having updates on what's going to be happening on Saturday for the auction. We are limiting the closing ceremonies to those who are grand champions or reserve grand champions or showmanship winners and their family. Those are the only people we're allowing on the grounds for the closing ceremonies, along with our buckle sponsors and directors. Everyone else, we're going to ask that you watch the closing ceremonies online through the live stream so you can gain the information that's needed for the auction on Saturday. We do appreciate everyone wearing their face masks and practicing social distancing in the barn area and on our grounds. Make sure that you have checked in our temp check station and received a wristband for today. If you have not done so, please do so immediately. It's in the buyer's barn. Just walk over there and they'll do your temp check for you and your QR code scan if you have not done those. Second class of heavyweights, you should be.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's certainly a pleasure to be back again. Had an enjoyable time yesterday.
Second place was Samantha Cortinas. Third place, Hannah Torres. Fourth place, Haley Lopez. Fifth place, Harley Huff. Sixth place, Austin Kirsch. Seventh place, Kendall McKee. Eighth place was Kara Oaks. Ninth place was Nadia Benavides. 10th place, Caleb Messer. 11th, Miliana Escamilla, and 12th place was Samuel Murray. Congratulations out of Class 1. We have Class 2 of our heavyweights coming in the ring right now. We have 16 total entries, 12 will place. We have Harley Huff, Haley
The 48th Annual Walter Gerlach Livestock Show would not be possible without generous sponsorship by local businesses, and we would like to thank PJ Farm and Ranch Feed Store for their generosity in making the 48th Annual Walter Gerlach Show happen this year. They wish every good luck to all the 4-H and FFA exhibitors. Call about our custom power coating. So they offer power coating. They have all of your feed and ranch needs. Go by and see them. They're located at 11585 Gom Road. You may also call them at 210-523-5282 or find them on the web, and that is PJ Farm and Ranch Feed Store. Also, we'd like to thank Freedom Home Designs for custom cutting boards, decor, and cornhole boards. That's Freedom Home Design. They are also a generous sponsor of the Walter Gerlach Show. You may call Brittany Habe at 210-617-6732 or Jacob Clay at 979-255-7688. You can also find them on the web at www.freedom-home-designs.com, and that's Freedom Home Designs, and thank you for supporting the Walter Gerlach Show this year. Also, we'd like to thank Burkholder Air Conditioning and Heating, LLC, for their generous sponsorship of the 48th Annual Walter Gerlach Show. If you're needing any type of heating or air conditioning service, call Matt and Jennifer Burkholder. They're proud supporters of the Walter Gerlach Livestock Show and Sale since 1992. You can reach them by calling 210-695-3016, and that is Burkholder Air Conditioning and Heating, LLC. Maple Brooks Benefits and Consulting also sponsored the 48th Annual Walter Gerlach Livestock Show. And if you're needing anybody for your individual insurance needs, health, dental, vision, or if you need group insurance for health, dental, vision, and others, reach out to Maple Brooks Benefits and Consulting. You can reach them at 210-949-0002 or find them at www.maplebrook.com. Thank you for your generous sponsorship of the 48th Annual Walter Gerlach Livestock Show and Sale. Also a sponsor for this year's Livestock Show is World Class Technology Solutions, Intech Southwest Services. They wish good luck to all participants at the Walter Gerlach Livestock Show, and that's Intech Southwest Services, proud sponsor of the 48th Annual Walter Gerlach Livestock Show and Sale. Also, Ideal Vision has supported the stock show this year. They have three different locations. They are located at 8202 North Loop 1604 West, Suite 105, or 9622 Petranco Road, number 111. And you can also find them in Somerset, Texas, at 8010-3 5th Street in Somerset. One-of-a-kind air care for one-of-a-kind eyes, and that is Ideal Vision, optometrist and optical. And you can reach them by calling 210-691-4733. And we thank you for your generous sponsorship of the 48th.
Class 3 of the heavyweights. Class 3 of the heavyweights. Start making your way to the holding area. Class 3 of the heavyweights. Make sure you have your tag number on your back, please. Class 3 of your heavyweights. Start making your way to the holding area.
Longtime sponsor and volunteer, Gom Real Estate. They're located at 1005 Highway 90 West. You can also locate them on the web by logging on to www.gomrealestate.net. Butch and Carrie Gom and Chaka have been around the Walter Durlock Livestock Show. Fat Carrie grew up as a member of the Walter Durlock Livestock Show, and they have...
I apologize for taking a little longer on the top end. We have lots of good hogs, lots of good pieces and parts up here, a lot of difference in body type, and I try to look at total value and balance as we try.
Ninth place was Jocelyn Martinez. 10th was Lila Ayala. 11th was Justin Schultz. And 12th place was Dalton Taylor. Congratulations, Class 2 of our heavyweights. Coming to the arena now is Class 3 of our commercial heavyweight. We have 16 in the class, 12 will place. We have Nadia Chavez, Lila Ayala, Jared Torres, Rebecca Garcia, Anthony Carranza, Justin Schultz, Austin Phipps, Ashlyn Vincent, Dalton Taylor, Carmen Schweisworth. That's the one I just read. Sorry. Yeah, same one. Brandon Fine in Class 3 of the heavyweights. Brandon Fine, Samir Vashnani, Sydney White, Kylie Starr, Austin Pop, Emma On, Zoe Barbeau, Luke Westfall, Aiden Angel, Andrew Williams, Calista Martinez, Kendall Hernandez, Brittany Bittner, Ryan Culp, Emily Fish, and Ethan Fish in Class 3 of our heavyweights. Aiden Angel. 12th was Kendall Hernandez. We're now bringing in our heavyweight class 1. Winners was Brittany Bittner. Second place was Samantha Cortinas. Heavyweight class 2 was Emma Crabb and Abigail McKeon. Just a reminder, folks, FFA students, we need to know what you're going to do with your animal. You need to see Mr. Pouncey and let them know what your plans are to do with your animal. Whether you're going to floor, if you place it, if you're going to the auction with it, if you did not place, what you're going to floor. If you have multiple animals, we still need to know what you're doing, auction or floor with each one. So please make sure you do that. If you're with 4-H, in about 10 or 15 minutes, I'll have that list up here at the announcer stand. You come up here and let us know here at the announcer stand what you're going to do with your animal, if you're with 4-H.
Our judge for doing a great job here. We got to be picking our champion of our open show. Thank you, Chuck, for being here.
commercial champion drive. In the lightweight division, we had Isley Tapia, Mason Zumwalt. Our middleweight champion was Naomi Tiniente, and reserve was Marissa Del Bufo. Our heavyweight was Abigail McKeon, and our reserve was Luke Westfall. All right, here we go. Lightweight. Next up is our lightweight Hampshire class. We have 14 entries, 6 will place. We have Darius Kobos, Dalton Taylor, Emily Fish, Haley Bratton, Christian Taylor, Aiden Charles, Chris Alcozier, James Kane, Lindsay Spindell, Adriel Jimenez, Kayla Polly, Caleb Messer, Emily Felty,
There we go. Always keep extra batteries, right? Really, really good class, this first class of Hampshires right here. I'm pleased with all 5 of these. And I'll be honest with you, I've taken each one of them and put it in the first hole and tried to decide.
While we're waiting on the placings, we're coming out with our second class of hams. We have Elizabeth Waynon, Caitlin Castro, Peyton Campbell, Jonathan Olivares, Alexandra Christian, Shelley Padalecki, Ashlyn Vincent, Jaden Vines, Matthew Escobedo, Cooper Smith, Austin Phipps, Samir Vashnani, Mason Zumwalt, and Sophia de Blasio in our second class of hams. Third place, Amir Vashnani. Fourth place, Alexandra Christian. Fifth place, Matthew Escobedo. And sixth place was Jonathan Olivares. We're bringing in our first class Hampshire first place and second place, so we can get our breed Hampshire champion. First call for our Yorks. First call for the York class to come start bringing it forward. Our first class at Hampshires, our class winner was Emily Felty. Leslie Taylor, Tatiana Diaz, Chloe Tim, Alexandra Christian, and Harley Huff. Yorkshire in first place was Leslie Taylor. In second place, Ariana Guzman. Then third place was Chloe Tim. Leslie Taylor, you are a Yorkshire champion. And Ariana Guzman, you are a reserve Yorkshire champion. Both of you will be welcome back for our championship drive for the Open Division. We're taking a 10-minute break. And we'll get started up in about 10 minutes. The time right now.
They can actually.
Just a reminder, if you're an O'Connor FFA student, you need to see Old Pouncy up here. Let him know what you're going to do with your animals.
Good afternoon, we're back from our break and I am visiting with Chloe today. Chloe is a junior at O'Connor High School and a member of the FFA. When did you become part of the FFA?
So I joined the FFA my freshman year and I got involved on FFA teams, and then starting my sophomore year I started raising livestock.
What were some of the teams that you were involved in?
My freshman year I was involved on the FFA Creed speaking team, so we would learn and recite the FFA Creed, which outlines all of the FFA program's beliefs and outlooks, and then we would answer questions about the program. And then my sophomore year, I started on the ag sales team, where we're basically sales pitching an important product that's up and coming in agriculture, but COVID did cut that competition season short, so we're about to start that one right after Gerlach. And then this past fall, I participated on the ag issues team, where we picked an important debatable topic within the agricultural industry. So we spoke on foreign investment in agriculture and the benefits and drawbacks. It was a scripted debate, and we would present to different groups of buyers and individuals in our community on the issue and educate them.
What a timely issue as well, because when we're talking about foreign investment into agriculture, COVID, not only COVID, but the trade war between China certainly has put that up into the air.
Yes.
So what I'm hearing from you is FFA does more than just teach about livestock.
Yes, FFA is such a program centered around leadership and developing your leadership skills. There's so many competitions that grow your speaking ability, and then we have career-based competitions, which are about to start in the spring. So it's just the whole shebang of a bunch of opportunities, and it really is a program for everyone, even if you're not interested in showing.
So as a junior, you jumped off into the livestock market, and you did that with a pig. Why?
I loved pigs. My ag teacher my freshman year was in charge of the pigs, and he totally talked me into it. He was like, Chloe, you have to do a pig. They're so fun. So my sophomore year, instead of just doing one, I decided to get 2 commercial pigs. It was the best decision I've ever made. And then this year I have 2 again.
And so obviously you have to spend some time with the pig. What does that entail?
So usually we're up at the barns twice a day, morning and afternoon. In the mornings, I'd usually get there around 7:45 and be there maybe until 8:30 and then go to school. And then in the evenings, I'd get there anywhere from 5:30 to 6:30 and then stay until 8, depending on just what I was doing that day, how long I was walking my livestock, working with them.
And so obviously you have to take care of feed because you got to put weight on them. But you also have to develop muscle, and the way that you develop muscle is by exercising.
Yes.
Just like an athlete. How long does it take to exercise?
So by show, I was walking my pigs 30 minutes a day, 30 to 45. If I had time, I'd walk them for 45. At the beginning of the year, we usually start them off with maybe 5 minutes, just getting used to the show stick, getting used to building their stamina, and then you build them up throughout the year. And then the end of December, I had both of my pigs walking around 30 minutes.
So you have them walk, you develop muscle. I know you were talking to me today about one of your pigs didn't quite have the length of structure, the length of skeleton that the judge is looking for, that's something you can't correct, is it?
Right.
You can't put them on a stretcher and stretch them out a little bit more. Genetically, what you receive, but muscle tone is something that you can add to.
Right.
Or if they have a little bit more cover, what I like to call cover, the
Yes, sir.
fat content, you can adjust that too, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So as a 4-H or FFA student, you have to learn to balance that out and juggle, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And not only that, but I'm assuming you're taking classes at O'Connor.
Yes, sir.
So you have classes, you have your ag project, you also try to probably do some things socially outside of school. So it's a juggling act, isn't it?
It is. I'll go to the barns in the morning, and then I come home, try to get all my schoolwork done, and then I'm at the barns in the evening, and I work both Saturdays and Sundays. So my entire weekend is usually pigs and work, but it's definitely a program that I love and I'm willing to juggle my time for.
So we talked about learning a career, a business, in a lot of ways that this is a business. That business is going to pay off on Saturday, is it not?
Yes.
And what is that going to be?
So on Saturday we have our auction. It's both live and virtual. So our live auction is obviously going to be held here at Gerlach, and then we do have a virtual option for anyone looking to support the students. It's going to be at WGLS.org, and any support would be appreciated in the forms of add-ons or if you wish to become a buyer.
And that virtual auction actually opens tomorrow, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And it will close sometime Saturday.
It closes on Saturday and will open back up on Sunday, I believe.
So that gives people plenty of time at home if they don't feel quite comfortable coming out to the barns. There is a way to participate.
Yes, sir.
But why are those auction funds so important?
They're so important because we use them to fund our projects for next year, or a lot of kids will put them into savings for college, and it's just an extra scholarship opportunity that we have to continue doing what we love or to put ourselves through more schooling.
But this also is a great lesson in life, so to speak,
Yes, sir.
because you have a small investment in your project. I know we do laugh about that, don't we? Because small is a relative term, right?
Yes.
And so the way that investment pays off, of course, is the auction. So it's important that people come out and support you. It's important that they support your friends that are involved in this project because that is your payday.
Yes, sir.
So if I wanted to decide, do I want to be a part of this? Is it for me? What would your advice be?
My advice would be, if you're willing to push your comfort zone and do something that seems kind of crazy, or you're like, oh my gosh, no one does this, do it. It is such an amazing opportunity. You learn so much responsibility, and it's such a learning experience every year. You're constantly learning something new. You're constantly meeting new people who are just there to help. And it's such an amazing community, and there's always more options beyond livestock showing. As we talked about earlier, FFA does offer team opportunities where you can further your leadership skills and you can further your career ambitions. We have a lot of teams that focus on like vet science or ag mechanics. So there's so many options within our program, and I just say, jump in, get your feet wet, see what you like, because it's all amazing.
Chloe, I really appreciate it.
What a fun way to end up here. We have two really, really good, outstanding individuals in this ring. A little bit different in body type, but in terms of total.
Good. Try to put each one in first in my mind and study them and come up with the most good. Gosh, they're just really close. I'm going to use a gilt to start the class with. No question, this gilt's a little more powerful, and I know maybe we're drifting away a little bit from all this extra shape, but golly, she handles it really, really well. Really squaring that rib and bowling that rib. She comes at you really wide. Love that forearm on the gilt. Excellent top shape and hip to her. Really, really powerful. The barrel is just elegant in terms of the structural correctness and design. Love the profile on him. Golly, he's just got a tremendous pop on him. Not quite as heavy structured as the one with the gilt and Wizard, but golly, he's just got lots and lots of good. I really like that about him. Black Pink that comes out next. Again, one of the, in no question, the heaviest structure of the drive right here. Bold reel, powerful front end, really stout. He's got a little cresty neck to me today. I'd like to clean him up in that area. He probably could use a little bit more depth back in that rear flank. But boy, he is powerful and stout and heavy constructed. Really nice design. Black Bear comes out next. Well presented. Sound as anything we got in the class. Very great down his top and out of his hip. Just needs to be a tick stouter. Just a little more volume to him to get him up in the class any higher. But a really good class to end up with. That's what our hands good for young people.
All right, in our heavyweight cross division, first place, Ian Diaz. Second place, Aiden Charles. Third place was Peyton Campbell. Fourth place was Haley Bratton. We'll be now competing for our cross champion. In our lightweight division, we have Shelly Padaletti. And our heavyweight, Ian Diaz. Just a reminder, FFA students, you need to check out with Mr. Pouncey what you're going to do with your animal. If you're a 4-H, Miss Menz was around, she was taking those for 4-H. She's still up here at the announcer stand. If you're a Columbus 4-H, doesn't matter what club, we need you to check out with Mrs. Menz and let us know what you're going to do with your animal, please.
Let's put our hands together for these two class winners in Boston. Both very, very good. Lightweight barrel, we talked about, is just really well presented and just super good in its design and structure. Just love him from one end to the other. Perhaps could use just a tick more in that lower part of the hand when he walks away from you, but golly, he's really, really good. The big deal right there we just got through talking about is just got power written from end to end. As powerfully constructed as you can make one, and still handles it really, really well. The Gill to be the champion class.
Aiden Charles.
I think it's a little closer on our reserve here, and I thought it was close to the top. I think all three of these individuals were really, really good. This second place barrel is just long and extended and fluid in his movement. He'll be the reserve.
Aiden Charles is our reserve cross champion. We can have the OPDs champions and reserve champions, Hamps reserve and champion come up, the York champion and reserve champion. That's Jaden Vines, Jordan McCullough, Emily Felty, Aiden Charles, Leslie Taylor, Ariana Guzman. Bring your animals up for the open champion drive, please. Also, commercial champion and commercial reserve champion, Kalisa Martinez and Luke Westfall. Get your animals ready. We're going to be having you bringing them up shortly.
So this morning I'm getting to visit with the Walter Gerlach Stock Show president. And this is your first year as president, is it not, Wes?
Yes, it is.
What a year to take over.
Yeah.
I mean, what a year to take over. I know last year with Houston shutting down before the show even finished. And then, of course, Austin immediately announcing that they were not going to do theirs. And it was almost like a domino effect. So, when did y'all decide that Gerlach was going to go?
Well, you know, we had to make that decision back in March, actually. We, all of our commercial animals, you know, we have to tell the breeders that we get them from well in advance, you know, of so they know how many animals to breed for us, so we had to make those decisions in March. And, of course, back in March, it was still just kind of, COVID was just starting. And we just weren't there. We didn't quite know what to expect. But we all got together and we decided if we're gonna order the animals, we're gonna make this happen.
And obviously, as we saw the spike in July, and then we turned around and started to see a spike again, a lot of sleepless nights involved.
We did. By then, a lot of the kids had their animals already in place. And thank God, Northside ISD has worked right beside us all the way and allowed the students to go into the buildings to feed their animals.
If we have a couple of adults that could help us this afternoon clean up this arena for the closing ceremonies after the big show's done, we'd appreciate it. If any of you adults can stick around, we'd appreciate you helping us with that. We are going to need some kids to help us get these placing pins out. We need about 10 to 12 people to get those placing pins out. So once we're done with our show, we're going to get those placing pins out. If we can get some people to help us with that, it would be greatly appreciated. Just a reminder, closing ceremonies tonight, 4 o'clock. It will be live streamed. We ask you log into our website, WGLS.org, and you can get the link there to be able to view the closing ceremonies. It's important that you watch those. There is going to be some important information involving the auction that you need to hear during that time. The only people that should be here for closing ceremonies are our grand champions and our showmanship winners and reserve grand champions. And their families are welcome to be here. But everyone else needs to be watching this on live stream for us, please.
Obviously, there had to be two big concerns that you felt like needed to be addressed. One,
all right. This is your 10-minute warning. We need to know what you're going to sell, what you're not going to sell, what you're going to do with your animals within the next 10 minutes.
There's a lot of talking going to happen here.
We need to know something that you're doing with them. We understand if you have one in the championship drive, you may be waiting. But everyone else, we need you to get this completed. We need to know our pig count for our floor buyer, and we need to know it like 10 minutes ago. So hurry up and make up your mind, get it done. Let us know what you're doing with your animals as soon as possible, folks.
So obviously there had to be two major concerns. Number one, how do we keep the exhibitors safe? And then if you do a live auction on Saturday,
Reserve OPB, Jordan McCullough. She's there. I see her.
How do we make the buyers feel comfortable knowing that they will be safe and they should come?
That's your champion OPB, Jaden Vines. Okay.
That is
Jaden Vines coming up right now, the champion.
Wait till it finishes. That has probably been our biggest challenge, really, to be honest with you. Putting on the stock show itself and with the kids and the families and so forth has been a lot easier for us as a committee. But the buyers are another thing. If we get a COVID in here and we have owners of businesses that are here, that shuts their business down for a couple of weeks while they're in quarantine or whatever. So we have to be very careful of how we do that. So what we've done is we've expanded our auction ring. We've invited fewer buyers. We're going to try to have our buyers kind of come in the mornings and leave, and then have another group come in the afternoon and leave. Our capacity in this building is 300.
There's our OPB champion, Jordan Vines. Coming out next will be our Hampshire class champion, Emily Felty.
So you've staggered the buyers in waves. Also the capacity.
The Yorkshire champion, Leslie Taylor.
And one of the things that you're also doing is that you're encouraging parents
and our cross champion, Ian Diaz.
Family members to watch it live stream.
This will be our open championship drive right here. Commercial champion and reserve champion. We need you to bring your animals up. Calista Martinez and Luke Westfall. Bring your animals up, please.
So we're live streaming all the events, and for all the shows plus the auction. And we've opened the auction up to online bidding as well. So many of the buyers who don't come here, who don't feel comfortable, and which we fully understand, we're going to open the auction up a couple of days before the actual live auction. And then after the live auction is completed, we're going to open it back up again a couple of days after the live auction to give our buyers the opportunity to go on.
You know, folks, as our judge is sitting here finishing up this open drive, let's give him a big hand, a round of applause for being here for the last 2 days, helping us out with this and judging. This is not an easy feat to be able to pick animals and stuff that these kids have worked so hard on, and Chuck Real has done a great job for us, and we appreciate him here coming out to our show this year. Thank you, Mr. Real.
And I really want to stress that that's important, because if I was a buyer that came in the first wave.
Thank you for that, and it is my pleasure to do this, and I said that earlier. This champion OPB drive, I think all four out here are very representative. The Duroc pig, and they're all very similar, very sound and functional and level, and just really, really nice. Yorkshire pig, the same thing. We can say everything about that one. Our Hampshire pig, probably as nice in design and profile and moving as we've seen.
And then this crossbred pig here, just power, and still handles it really well. The cross will be our champion.
All right, Ian Diaz with our champion open. We bring out the second place reserve champion cross, shown by Aiden Charles.
So we were talking about if you happen to be in one wave of buyers and you leave the barn, or if you wanted to bid on somebody but you had to leave before that person could come, you certainly have the opportunity to go on and be a virtual bidder. That online auction will open, I believe, tomorrow, and it will run from tomorrow till Sunday.
I think it comes very close here for our reserve champion, and they're all really good.
Nobody thinks I have any biases, because we raise Durocs, we raise Yorks, we raise Hamps, and we raise crosses. So I've got a little bit of interest in all of these out here, but they're all very, very good. I think the one that follows our champion as good as any, that'll be our crossbred.
All right, we're going to get these open champions out. Leave our open champion and reserve champion in there, and our breed champions will be coming out. We're going to be bringing in our commercial champion and our commercial reserve champion for our grand champion drive. Showmanship. We're going to be doing junior showmanship first. The following people will be bringing their animals in: Leslie Taylor, Caroline Terrell, Sophia On, Haley Bratton, Emily Felty, and Ian Diaz. You'll be coming back for junior showmanship.
He moved whatever. What a friggin' door.
And obviously, one of the things that you did to help with the exhibitors is y'all extended the show out. It started last Friday, and it has been going almost a week. And I know that's had to have been difficult trying to find volunteers and getting everybody to do that. But it's been very important. Do you feel accomplished that, hey, we did it?
Absolutely. We didn't know.
Senior showmanship. Listen up. Brigido Delgado.
Hernandez, Colby Cannell, Marissa Del Rodolfo, Samantha Wright, Samuel Murray, Samantha Cortines, Rian Culp, Jordan McCullough, Jaden Vines, Aiden Charo, and Shelley Padalecki.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our grand champion drive, Want to thank all of you for all your support and help this week to put on this livestock show. I know the board of directors really appreciates all that. I certainly appreciate not only my friendship of over 40 years with Chuck Real, but the way he treats our kids. Gave every kid an opportunity and, you know, talked to every kid and guided them and gave them some advice. So let's give Chuck a big round of applause and thank him for being here today. Really a quality person. We appreciate him being here. Again, there's an awful lot left to go with the stock show. We're going to be having our live stream later this evening with the Grand Champion buckles and reserve grands and showmanship. But I want everyone to understand, every one of our kids are winners. They're champions in and out of the ring. And let's keep that in our mind as we go through the rest of the week. And thank all of you for all your support.
So you spread the show out over days.
All right. Well, we're thanking people before we bring these out. Folks, we need to thank the ag teachers
For doing this. Without their support and their leadership, this wouldn't be possible. But we want to thank them also for all their hard work. Shown by Calista Martinez.
So you spread it out over days. The pig show used to be in one day. It has been two. The goat show one day. It has been two. Was it a constant battle, or was it a constant? This wasn't something that was easy to do, was it?
All right, Lisa, and our open champion, shown by Ian Diaz.
We knew up front, early on, our capacity was 300 people. And even though it's kind of an open area there, technically, we didn't want to push that, we wanted to be safe, all of it. So we limited everything to 300. And so we developed our stock show schedule based on that. And so that's why we split the hogs, we split the goats. We were able to do some of them in one day because we knew it was important. We felt it was important for the exhibitor, at least the exhibitor's parents to do it. And so we kind of gave it 3 people per exhibitor, and we figured it from there, the mathematical side.
Once again, it's been a privilege to work with your show, and I appreciate these kind words.
He's been all
Longer than 40 years, by the way, but anyway, it's still been a good friendship. 2 really outstanding individuals. Let's congratulate these 2 grands and reserves out here. God, I think it takes a lot to get to this point. Our commercial champion doesn't take anything away, whether it was commercial or open. This is just a good haul. Just productive in its look, sound, functional, plenty of shape, plenty of muscle. Just love the way this thing's put together. The open show champion, again, power, just tremendous form and top shape and bone and muscle. I think it's a really good pair. The open show will be our champion.
Congratulations, Ian Diaz. The 48th Walter Gerlach Livestock Show Grand Champion Swine. We'll now bring out our Reserve Champion Open Division, Aiden Charo, to compete for the Reserve Grand Champion.
So anyway, once we developed the framework for the stock show, then everything else kind of fell into place. We were able to go show by show and activity by activity and kind of create
junior showmanship. We have 6 finalists.
Junior showmanship, so bring your animals up. Leslie Taylor, Caroline Terrell, Sophia Ahn, Haley Bratton, Emily Felty, and Ian Diaz.
So you divided up the show.
Reserve Cross, Reserve Open show again is just very, very powerful, much like our Grand. Just excellent in terms of design and structure. I think it's really, really close, but I'm going to use him for the reserve.
So you divided up the show.
Congratulations, Aiden Charo, the Reserve Grand Champion Swine for the 48th Walter Gerlach Livestock Show.
But you've also been doing
Last call to give us your information on your animals, what you're going to do with them. Mr. Pouncey's up here, Mrs. Mins is up here for the 4-H. We need to know what you're going to do with your animals as soon as possible, folks.
I need to see Emily Kane, Jessica Kane,
Michael Ramirez, Naomi Tenente, and Jaden Vines at the announcer stand, please.
But you also did sanitation between each one of the shows.
Right.
You did sanitation as soon as people left the barn. Sanitation came in. You've been doing this a long time. Did you ever think that you would have to do something like this?
No, this is out of our comfort zone. It really is. But
Once again, folks,
our goal has always been.
if you're with O'Connor FFA, you need to see Old Pound.
What you're going to do with your animals, if you're with Helotes 4-H, doesn't matter what club you're with, come up here and see Mrs. Mins and let her know what you're going to do with those animals. We need to know, like, now. We don't have time to wait. We got to let our floor buyer know how many we have, so we can get everything arranged with that. Junior showmanship is lining up. We should have Leslie Taylor, Caroline Terrell, Sophia On, Haley Bratton, Emily Felty, and Ian Diaz.
We were talking about, did you ever think that you would have to do this? Doing the sanitation, spreading out the show. I mean,
yeah, thank you. No, to answer the question, easy answer is no. We didn't know, like I said, this is out of our comfort zone. But our board of directors is made up of 15 plus people who all have had kids that go through the program who are now paying back. And we decided
All right,
we're going to do what's
here
right
we
for the
go.
kids.
Junior showmanship.
And we're going to do right by what the kids and what the kids need. We're going to work closely with the school district because we want them to be partners with this. And we kind of use some of the same profiles and guidelines that the north side of the school district did for their athletic events. And so we worked real close with them to develop what all we need to get done. The nice part about it was when we asked for volunteers to help us with all what you're talking about, our parents came to the fight. They were there. And I can't say enough about just how the community came together to do this. Because without the volunteer help from our parents and families, even people who haven't been able to come to the show, helped us. And so it's been kind of
Folks, after we finish our show, we need you to do a few things before you leave. We need to make sure you feed
really well for us. We're going to need some help getting the placing pens out, but we don't want you doing that right now with the feeding and watering. We don't want a bunch of animals squealing and stuff. Just wait until we're done. We'll give you plenty of time to help to get them fed and watered. Make sure you get your pictures done. And we'll get these placing pens out and stuff, but we just need you to help us with that once the show is over with. Make sure your animals are fed and watered real good. If you're going to be loading out, we're going to start our load out shortly after the show is over. We will make an announcement of when we're doing that and the time so that you're aware of that. Once
set up and everything ready, we will make the announcement for that. So be ready to load out. What do you think, Ronnie, an hour after the show or so? Probably about an hour and a half after the show is over, we will start our loadout process. We'll make announcements on that.
Has it felt intimidating knowing that every eye in Texas is on here? I mean, Bear County had the first.
We'll let you know how we're going to line you up here once I get out there and look at the parking lot.
Bear County was the first one to have a show this year. Y'all are the second one to have a show this large. Does it feel weird or intimidating that all eyes are watching?
Well, I hope they are, because I think what we did here really has been a good thing. We did the same thing, but we went to other shows this past month around this hill country area and so forth, and watched how they did. Just kind of took what they were doing and the best practices type of thing, and that's what this is really about. Each of us learning from each other. And so if we can help another show down the line, if they see something we're doing that's they did that at Girl, like that might work for us, you know, I'm happy because we're all in this together, you know. And so, it was, you know, like I was saying earlier, it took a lot of people to pull it off. All the COVID protocols that we have to go through is new to us. You know, we're not real technology minded as a group, but we have people that we know that are, and all of it kind of worked. You know, and it's been real gratifying.
All right, Judge, you got one more pinned over here that needs to come out.
But it's important also, and I think you struck on it, because Houston moved their show. They delayed it. I'm sure one of the reasons, there were a couple of factors.
Kayla Polly, I need you at the announcer stand right now. If anybody knows her, tell her to call me if she's not here. Otherwise, her animal will be floored. Senior showmanship. Start lining up. Brigido Delgado, Naomi Teniente, Alina Hernandez, Colby Cannell, Marissa Bell Rodolfo, Samantha Wright, Samuel Murray, Samantha Cortines, Rian Culp, Jordan McCullough, Jaden Vines, Aiden Charo, and Shelley Padalecki.
Walter Gerlach does a special event, the commercial show.
There'll be 13 of you
And it is
for senior showmanship.
on readers.
Start lining up in the holding area, please.
This organization. So to have tried to delay it, there might not have been animals available for the commercial show. To delay it, also the kids here at Gerlach travel to the majors. They participate in the other shows. So any delay could have taken those kids out of that contention, out of that. Y'all had a heck of a decision, didn't you?
Well, we
It's Ryan Culp. I'm sorry about I've been mispronouncing your name all day. Ryan Culp.
We could have, one of the plans would have been if San Antonio shut down all events. We had another facility scheduled that we would have gone to that's outside of Bexar County, and it would have been on a different date, and so we would have had to change our dates a little bit, but not a whole lot. You know, a couple weeks.
Let's put our hands together. These are the best of the young showmen out here, in my opinion, today, and they've done a really, really good job. The showmanship is really subjective in terms of what you do and how you pick them. Everybody has their own opinion. We've been in this office a long, long time, and I think it's most important as you study and do this showmanship is that these young people feel natural and comfortable. It appears to me that all of these are doing that. It looks like they've been working with their pigs at home, and that's where the showmanship process starts. It's really, really hard to say which one of these is be better than the other because they're all doing a great job, but you really have to appreciate the way they're handling their animals, presenting them to me. Again, let's give them all a nice round of applause and I'll congratulate the champion.
Junior showmanship goes to Emily Felty. Congratulations, Emily.
So you had to make some tough decisions. And everything that I'm hearing from you, everything that I'm...
Congratulations to all of our junior showmen for being picked for finalists. That's a great honor. And we appreciate your showmanship. That helps this show a lot and makes those animals look better.
Everything I'm hearing, though, is the number one concern was the exhibitors and the safety of beef.
All right, senior showman, you'll be coming in next. I have Brigido Delgado, Naomi Teniente, Alina Hernandez, Colby Cannell, Marissa.
Samantha Wright, Samuel Murray, Samantha Cortines, Ryan Colt, Jordan McCullough, Jaden Vines, Aiden Charo, and Shelley Padalecki.
Got some more. Next year, are you hoping more normal?
Oh yes, we're hoping more normal. You know, really, when I say hoping more normal, we're going to meet after the show. We always do to kind of debrief the show and changes we want to make or improvements we want to make. And in my mind, I think when we meet, there's going to be some things we're going to want to continue with. You know, this has brought about some little changes to what we usually do, and I think in a good way. So there's some things we're going to continue with, I'm sure. But the main thing that we miss, what we miss more than anything, is the social aspect of the show. You know, the kids, the families, the community all coming here, being here, meeting, greeting one another, and hanging out with one another for a few days, not having any restrictions about how many people we can have here or what they got to wear on their face or anything, and it takes away from the unique thing that we have here at this show, and we want to get that back before anything else. God willing, you know, we will get that back in the next year, and we'll be able to have a show that it's not so spread out, that's, you know, more normalized as far as we're concerned. Because we take pride in having what we call a good old-fashioned stock show. And that means that it's all about community and about the hard work of kids and the satisfaction they get and the pats on the back they get and the hugs they get. And if people aren't here, they're not able to do that, get that same satisfaction for the kids that we would otherwise. And so that part we want to try to get back, of all things. But there's some things we're going to do different, and in some ways, you know, for instance, the live streaming that we're doing has really been a success for us this year, and we'll probably continue with that, you know. And there's some other things, how we set the shows up a little bit, you know, with the ag mechanic show at the school and the rabbit show at the 4-H center. We may continue to do that. That worked out really nice for everybody involved. So we're not sure yet. You know, we're going to talk through it, but having it back to somewhat normalized, we're looking forward to that. Absolutely.
And also, though, it's important to know too that one of the things that's kind of missing from today's show is you don't have the elementary kids coming out, and I mean, that's not about the pat on the back, because that is good, but it exposes kids to an industry and to a process that they may not be able to see inside their classroom. This is the ultimate show and tell. So getting that back, breeding that interest, that love of, hey, it's okay, you don't have to be a rancher to raise a livestock project. The lessons that are taught inside this barn isn't just about animals. It's about life. It's about what happens after I graduate, when I become part of the real world, so to speak.
Yeah, in reality, the animal is just a tool. And the lesson is what it's really all about. And you mentioned the elementary kids coming out. We have busloads of kids come out here, and we would be it would help us too, because our kids, because we would put a student in charge of a classroom. And so here we have high school students working with younger kids, showing them how things are, and having them pet the animals, and it really does, you know, it helps our stock show out, one, but it's really what we're all about too. I mean, it's about kids and our future of the agricultural business that we have.
And also missing from this year's Gerlach is the livestock judging aspect.
Yes.
And so it did fall prey to COVID. Something that hopefully will be back next year.
Oh, absolutely. We've already discussed that. Bringing kids in, we like to show this place off, and we would have livestock judging teams from all over the state of Texas come here because they love coming here for livestock judging always be that Friday right before the auction, and we would have hundreds of kids coming for livestock judging, and they called us, "Are y'all going to do it this year?" And everyone we talked to, we're going to do it next year, though. Be planning up, put it on your calendar. We're going to do it.
And I think that that's important too, because it lets the students of Gerlach learn from not only their close peers, but their statewide peers. And so it really helps. And then, of course, not to mention the fact that the auction has always been a celebration. The buyers get to celebrate with the students get to celebrate their accomplishments. That's something that's not going to change this year, is it?
It'll be different. There won't be as many buyers. We're not, some things that are important to us we're not doing this year. We're not going to run any animals through the auction. We're not going to allow because of COVID.
They asked me to pin the top 5, and that's what I've done, but this is not to take anything away from the rest of y'all out here. Y'all are doing a fantastic job. A lot of shows I judge, I can't find 3 or 4 kids that do a good job, and look how many are out here. Let's put our hands together for all of them for coming back and doing a great job out here.
We're not going to have the pictures with the buyers that we've had in the past, which, our brand and reserve brand group going through the auction in the past has taken 2 hours because of a celebration that we have to celebrate those kids and those animal projects that won top honors. And we won't have that this year. It'll go a lot faster, which is what we needed to have happen, but a lot safer also this year. But we're going to bring that back, believe me. But that's part of that celebration we're talking about.
But let's stress that with it speeding up in some aspects, it's important that if you're at home, be watching the live stream.
Absolutely.
So that you're here in time to make it. Y'all are recommending that you need to show up at least 25 lots before your sell place.
Right.
So please pay attention. You wouldn't want anybody to miss out their sales.
Oh, that's right, and it may go pretty fast. So they're going to have to be watching the live stream or making phone calls or making sure they know when they're here. We've never really had a problem with that, but being different, it may go faster. So we might have a little issue.
And there is a new addition too. There's a new parking lot.
Yeah, that's going to make it easier for us. We purchased land this past year. That's another one. This new thing that was. It was so important. We purchased the new land for parking. We've been using Ferris Stadium parking area, Northside School District, and busing people over on that day because it was so crowded. And now we have our own parking lot, which was part of this whole process thing. Thank goodness we have volunteers that helped us build that too. But they'll be able to sit over in the parking lot and listen to the live stream on their phone. And so if they come a little bit early, they can still see the auction and see when it comes over the lineup. So hopefully that'll help them.
So Wes, I'm going to have to put you in the hot seat for just a moment. Tough question. Having survived COVID, having pulled this off, do you want to be president next year?
Oh, I love this organization. No, there's no question about it.
Wonderful. If anybody is interested in volunteering or being a part of the Gerlach program, what should they do?
Get involved. We want people. We ask for volunteers all the time, and you don't really have to be in the booster club or have a kid in the program. None of our board members have kids involved in it. We have a few grandkids, but we don't have any kids of our own involved. And but getting involved with the stock show and introducing yourself to come out here, it wasn't so easy this year because we're only having family members come out. But we did have a few folks that called us and what can I do to volunteer? And we have them here right now. They're helping us barbecue, or they're helping us with the COVID stations. And that's the first step. Just get involved, get to know us, get to know what our organization is about. And
all right, folks, as soon as showmanship is finished, if you're parked back here in the valley area, back behind the barns here, I would love for you to move your vehicles up on top here somewhere, because we're going to be loading trailers and stacking trailers in this bottom area down here, and we need as much room and space as we can to be able to do that for our loadout. So once you've done fed and watered your pigs,
or if you can do it now, if you have vehicles parked down here, if you can move them, we'd appreciate it. Move them up on top and move over by the bathrooms, whatever. It just gives us a little bit more room for our trailers to be able to circle them around and do our load out.
Wes, the last thing, it's very important if people want to support their youth and leaders of tomorrow, support the kids that were here. Payday comes Saturday. Pay them off well, pay them off great, and the best way to do that is to go to the website, which is WGLS.org. They can find everything they need there, right?
That's correct. We have everything there. You can register to be a buyer there. There's places if you want to just give some certain students some money. There's add-on sheets that you can print out and send to us. Many different ways. We're going to tell our buyers on Saturday, and they know this has been a tough year to be a kid in a school, and really a bad draw from years, especially for our seniors who are going to be graduating, and we want to send them off in a special way. And so if you're able to help out, if you're part of the Lotus community, or even if you're not, if you just like kids and what we're trying to do with our kids here, please go on our website, WGLS.org. Some people have a harder time with that. You might have to spell it all out, Walter Gerlach Livestock Show.org. But either way, it'll get you there, and you can watch the live streaming there. You can sign up to be a buyer. When the bidding opens on Thursday at 2 o'clock, you can go on and bid on animals at that point.
Guys, put your hands together. Watch these young people show. They're doing a phenomenal job. Anyone of y'all for sure.
Any day if you want to. You do a whole lot better job than I do. I really appreciate that. All of them have done a fantastic job again. I congratulate them. Thank y'all for having me here to judge your show. I really enjoyed it. It's been a great couple of days right here. I hope you'll have a really good sale. I'll go congratulate your champion.
All right, senior showman goes to Shelley Padalecki. Congratulations, Shelley.
Do it next year, though. Be planning on put it on your calendar. We're going to do it.
And I think that's important too, because it lets the students of Gerlach learn from not only their close peers, but their statewide peers. And so it really helps. And then, of course, not to mention the fact that the auction has always been a celebration. The buyers get to celebrate with the students get to celebrate their accomplishments. That's something that's not going to change this year, is it?
It'll be different. There won't be as many buyers. We're not, some things that are important to us we're not doing this year. We're not going to run any animals through the auction. We're not going to allow because of COVID.
They asked me to pin the top 5, and that's what I've done, but this is not to take anything away from the rest of y'all out here. Y'all are doing a fantastic job. A lot of shows I judge, I can't find 3 or 4 kids that do a good job, and look how many are out here. Let's put our hands together for all of them for coming back and doing a great job out here.
We're not going to have the pictures with the buyers that we've had in the past, which, our brand and reserve brand group going through the auction in the past has taken 2 hours because of the celebration that we have to celebrate those kids and those animal projects that won top honors. And we won't have that this year. It'll go a lot faster, which is what we needed to have happen, but a lot safer also this year. But we're going to bring that back, believe me. But that's part of that celebration we're talking about.
But let's stress that with it speeding up in some aspects, it's important that if you're at home, be watching the live stream.
Absolutely.
So that you're here in time to make it. Y'all are recommending that you need to show up at least 25 lots before your sell place.
Right.
So please pay attention. You wouldn't want anybody to miss out their sales.
Oh, that's right, and it may go pretty fast. So they're going to have to be watching the live stream or making phone calls or making sure they know when they're here. We've never really had a problem with that, but being different, it may go faster, so we might have a little issue.
And there is a new addition too. There's a new parking lot.
Yeah, that's gonna make it easier for us. We purchased land this past year. That's another one. This new thing that was so important. We purchased the new land for parking. We've been using Ferris Stadium parking area, Northside School District, and busing people over on that day because it was so crowded. And now we have our own parking lot, which was part of this whole process thing. Thank goodness we have volunteers that helped us build that too. But they'll be able to sit over in the parking lot and listen to the live stream on their phone. And so if they come a little bit early, they can still see the auction and see when it come over the lineup. So hopefully that'll help them a bit.
So Wes, I'm going to have to put you in the hot seat for just a moment. Tough question. Having survived COVID, having pulled this off, do you want to be president next year?
Oh, I love this organization. No, there's no question about it.
Wonderful. If anybody is interested in volunteering or being a part of the Gerlach program, what should they do?
Get involved. We want people. We ask for volunteers all the time, and you don't really have to be in the booster club or have a kid in the program. None of our board members have kids involved in it. We have a few grandkids, but we don't have any kids of our own involved. And but getting involved with the stock show and introducing yourself to come out here, it wasn't so easy this year because we're only having family members come out. But we did have a few folks that called us and what can I do to volunteer? And we have them here right now. They're helping us barbecue, or they're helping us with the COVID stations. And that's the first step. Just get involved, get to know us, get to know what our organization is about. And
all right, folks, as soon as showmanship is finished, if you're parked back here in the valley area, back behind the barns here, I would love for you to move your vehicles up on top here somewhere, because we're going to be loading trailers and stacking trailers in this bottom area down here, and we need as much room and space as we can to be able to do that for our loadout. So once you've done fed and watered your pigs, or if you can do it now, if you have vehicles parked down here, if you can move them, we'd appreciate it. Move up on top and move over by the bathrooms, whatever. It just gives us a little bit more room for our trailers to be able to circle them around and do our loadout.
Wes, the last thing, it's very important if people want to support the youth and leaders of tomorrow, support the kids that were here. Payday comes Saturday. Pay them off well, pay them off great, and the best way to do that is to go to the website, which is WGLS.org. They can find everything they need there, right?
That's correct. We have everything there. You can register to be a buyer there. There's places if you want to just give some certain students some money. There's add-on sheets that you can print out and send to us. Many different ways. We're going to tell our buyers on Saturday, and they know this has been a tough year to be a kid in a school, and really a bad draw from years, especially for our seniors who are going to be graduating, and we want to send them off in a special way. And so if you're able to help out, if you're part of the Lotus community, or even if you're not, if you just like kids and what we're trying to do with our kids here, please go on our website, WGLS.org. Some people have a harder time with that. You might have to spell it all out, Walter Gerlach Livestock Show.org. But either way, it'll get you there, and you can watch the live streaming there. You can sign up to be a buyer. When the bidding opens on Thursday at 2 o'clock, you can go on and bid on animals at that point.
Guys, put your hands together. Watch these young people show. They're doing a phenomenal job. Any one of y'all for sure.
Pigs any day if you want to. You do a whole lot better job than I do. I really appreciate that. All of them have done a fantastic job again. I congratulate them. Thank y'all for having me here to judge your show. I really enjoyed it. It's been a great couple of days right here. I hope you'll have a really good sale. I'll go congratulate your champion.
Senior Showman goes to Shelley Padalecki. Congratulations, Shelley.
3. I have a special guest with us today, and she is a member of Helotes 4-H, and it is Emily Felty. Emily, which 4-H program are you a part of?
I'm a part of the Helotes 4-H LSP.
LLP, which is?
LSP is one of the 3 groups that we have. We have Unlimited, LSP, and LSO.
And LSP stands for? Livestock something? Yeah, anyway. We know it's part of Helotes 4-H.
Yes.
Emily, you actually show rabbits and
I
pigs.
show swine as well, yes.
Okay. And how did the rabbit show go?
The rabbit show went pretty well. I got 10th with my rabbits, and then I got junior showmanship. So that was very good.
And then, of course, today I think you're probably on cloud 9 with these swine because?
I got breed champion for Hamps, and then I also got junior showmanship as well.
So, is this how many buckles?
This will be I'm getting 2 tonight, so I'm going to have 9 buckles now.
9 buckles. So, can I borrow one?
I mean, if you want.
I mean, because with you having 9 buckles, you can't wear, but 1 buckle a day, right?
Correct.
But you do have your choice of buckles, right?
Yes, I do.
What a wonderful accomplishment. Emily, how long have you been involved with 4-H?
This is my 6th year now. Yeah.
So you started at a very young age.
Yes, I started very young.
What did you start with?
I started with rabbits for my first 2 years, and then my 3rd year we incorporated swine.
So why did you decide to bring in a swine?
I was going to the Bexar County Junior Livestock Show, and I had some time to spare, so me and my dad went to go watch the swine show, and I had an offer from Daryl Zumwalt to let me keep pigs out at his property. So that's how it all began.
So you jumped off into the deep end, didn't you?
Yes.
How many pigs did you have this year?
I had 2 this year.
Okay. So Emily, what's easier, pigs or rabbits?
Rabbits are definitely a lot easier than pigs. They're very stubborn.
The pigs or the rabbits?
Both.
Both? So tell me, how often do you have to work your pig?
I work each of my pigs 30 minutes every day at the end of the day.
And of course, you feed once a day?
I
Once
feed
every
twice
week?
a day.
Twice a day.
Yes.
So you have to go out there twice a day. It's not one of these things that you can put a little feed out and come back a week later and see how things are doing?
No, because they'll eat all of it.
So I know that the goat people, the sheep people, even the steer people, they have to halter break. How do you halter break a pig?
We don't. We actually have them free, and we have to use a whip to move them around the arena.
Well, we'll call it a show stick, right? Because
Yes.
we don't want people to think that you're out there whipping the animal.
Yes.
But you use your show stick, but you just hit the nail on the head. They are free.
Yes.
So as we saw this morning, a couple of times pigs have a mind of their own and they go galloping across the ring.
Yes.
And you have to go chase them, right?
You have to walk over because chasing them is showing that you're very anxious and nervous.
So, Emily, do you think the pig does it on purpose?
No, I think they're scared. They're nervous. They're not used to this environment. It's brand new for a lot of them. So they get very scared and spooked by a whole bunch of people yelling. And also, if they're running too, it shows that some people may not have trained their pigs. Some may, but some may not have.
But mostly, though, I mean, for the most part, everybody has worked with their animals. But I think you really, because we had a situation in the steer show as well, your animal is not used to being around 300 people.
Exactly.
It's not used to being the center of the show, so to speak. And more importantly, your pig probably has been around, maybe 10 pigs total?
Yep.
While it was out at its barn. Now you're bringing it into a ring where it could be 16 to 20 pigs. And not only that, but it's in the back where there could be close to 100 to 125 pigs. So it's out of its environment, isn't it?
Yes. And sometimes a lot of pigs can get very stressed out and they have trouble coping with being in that big environment.
So to help them cope, it's important to bond with your animal?
It's important, yes.
How do you do that?
I bond with my animals by giving them belly rubs. They get brushed daily, and going on the walks helps us bond too because they get used to me being by their side, so they know I'm there for them.
So, very young, but you're going to have to also make a decision because your pig probably will not be with you much longer.
No.
How do you cope with that?
I know going into it that they're going to be used for meat, and I try my best not to get attached, and I do, but I know they have to go on the trailer, so I guess I just kind of deal with it.
So, for a first-time show person, or for one of your younger friends growing up, and it doesn't have to be younger friend because it could be a first-time show person that could be a senior.
Yes.
What advice do you give them to make it easy?
Just work really hard and train them, but you have to learn that they're not going to be a pet. They're going to be used for show.
And understanding that they're not a pet is also a respect for the animal, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So, Emily, if you had a friend that wanted to think about being a member of 4-H, what do you tell them?
I tell them they need to go to the open house so they can experience all of the different projects that there are. Because there's not only animals, there's many other projects as well.
Absolutely, because I think you do some other things besides animals, don't you?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
I do public speaking, ag mechanics, food nutrition, and clothing and textiles.
Oh, ag mechanics. Let's talk about that too, because somebody forgot to tell us. I think you had a little success at the Ag Mac show, didn't you?
Yes, I got reserve grand champion of the show.
And you did that with
a desk.
So you built a desk, and this isn't like one of these desks I run down to Walmart and am able to put together in about 15 minutes. You had to do a little bit more with that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
What did you have to do?
I had to weld. I learned to solder. I had to do a butcher box top, so I had to clamp and glue that together. And I powder coated my base for the very first time, along with many other things, but the list goes on and on.
Was this the first time you've done welding?
No.
Okay.
I started welding last year, and I did 2 projects last year. I made a table, and I did a branding iron.
So, I mean, I'm hearing maybe furniture constructions in your future?
Yes.
You've done a table, done a desk. What's next, a dresser?
I don't know.
We'll have to wait till next year's AgMech to see.
Yes, you will.
Emily, thank you for visiting with us, and thank you very much and congratulations on your show.
Thank you.
Wonderful.